And one of the reasons why these students drop out, among many, is that teachers are terrorists. The teachers are so authoritarian. They are so authoritarian. I tell you, I wonder sometimes, where does this come from? And I realize that right from childhood, children have been told, don't talk, don't speak when elders are speaking. It's not a good manner. And I tell you, when you stop that child from speaking at the childhood, that fellow doesn't speak up when he grows up. I don't know what's your professor, what is your experience, but how many questions do you get really in the class? Many? Lot many? 2 to 12. It is an exception. Because Dr. Pathak will tell you, he is an exception. All right, very good.
I don't believe it. As a teacher, I will tell you that you have to ask the student to ask a question. Okay? Then only they will ask a question. Even now, how many of them asked a question?
Yeah.
Not many.
No, they will ask. I have not given them a chance.
But they don't have to wait for a chance. They should intervene. The students should be irreverential. The students who respect the authority so much that they wait to be asked actually are not the students in my reckoning. I have broken rules all my life. And I can tell you, there is no way to do what you want to do if you don't break the rules. Please, please. There is no way.
Professor
if you
Bhatt
ask me,
is
I can
going
give
to
you
have some
license.
chaos on his hands from tomorrow onwards.
No, the point I'm trying to drive home is that if children are compliant, conformist, congruent, they are so because we have made them so. You know, the point that you raised in the beginning is very valid. We have worked hard. We have worked hard to create that spirit which is not questioning. So let me now come to the point that, all right, I'm not very happy with the current allocation of the resources. I'm also not happy that this country cares to hoot about whether 60% people drop out of the children of the primary education. I'm not happy that the education minister talks about Aam Aadmi and cares little when he has to allocate 8,000 crore he has to allocate for expanding seats in higher education. 8,000 crore he's going to allocate for seats in higher education. You know that? After the last judgment that they have taken, and he does not have 8,000 crore for the primary education to make sure that the teachers in the primary education will be well trained. Today, a 12th class person with 2 years training in PTC becomes a primary school teacher. How would he teach science and maths, tell me? And how many of our IT students here, and please don't mind my saying this, the Wipros and the Infosys of this country have not cared to provide Indian language tools to teach science and math by the PTC primary school teacher. That's the fact of the matter. We earn billion, 20 billion, $30 billion, and we can't spend 1% of that amount in building softwares in Indian languages that our PTC teacher can use wherever computers have reached. And large number of schools computers are reaching now, thankfully. But they don't know how to teach astronomy, how to teach physics, how to teach nature. You mentioned about nature. How to teach ecology, how to teach relationship between soil and plant and climate and weather. Because there are no wonderful simulations there. And you will agree, with simulations, learning becomes very enjoyable. So I think there is a great deal to be done there. But let me restrict myself in the next few minutes to what we can do at NIT or institution like NIT to make society more inclusive, so that our society will be respectful of the budget that is being spent on higher education. So I am defining my goal as how do we reform and recast and restructure higher education in a manner that it becomes responsive to that part of our society which today is out of the purview of formal education. And that is a very large part. Incidentally, out of 300 odd awards that National Innovation Foundation has given in the last 6 years, two of these award functions where Honorable President gave the award. Almost 90% were school dropouts. Now, school dropouts, you met some yesterday, could be so wonderful. Why should higher education not generate then more innovations? And how can we make higher education become more innovative is what my agenda is now. So, number first, what my first proposal is, and I would like to work with you, and Pathak would help us in that regard. He has very rich experience of turning around the institutions. I'm a great admirer of his work and his leadership at IIT Bombay in making his students entrepreneur. And I'm convinced that there is no escape from what Suhas said, is to sow the seeds of entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship, one of the first principle is entrepreneurs are very irreverent people. They don't care for authority. I know when he talked about his mother, he had a word of regret, isn't it? He wasn't very happy that his mother still compares him with the elder brother who made it to IIM and doesn't realize that he can hire many IIM graduates, I mean, he could hire our students, in fact, if he wanted to. So he has achieved more than possibly 90% of our students have achieved in their life. So what do we do? First suggestion is, we want to create a portal where all the projects that you do are put up. I would like to begin with NITK. All the projects that every student does, either mini project or full project, should be available for this country to inspect and for this country to comment upon. And for doing something else, what Ravi Mathai used to say sometimes jocularly, we should have a Kho-Kho style of management. Kho-Kho style means a project from NITK is taken up by some, say, SSIT in Tumkur, taken forward. From there it goes to Warangal. From Warangal it goes to Durgapur. In 4, 5, 6 iterations it becomes a product. You see? There's no reason why the faculty or the student from here itself must take the project forward. India is a country. As a country we belong to one community of interested people. We will take ideas from anywhere, one of the institutions, and take it forward. So what this portal would do is, it will give to this country a report every year of what the young people of this country are thinking. People in whom country has invested so much. So in some sense, it is your report card. It is your answer to the country's expectation. Look, we are looking at the real life problems. Please allocate more resources because we are doing it so well. It will also expose those institutions in this country, and there are many, where the students pay somebody to get their projects done. I am told there are companies in Bangalore which do projects for the students. Very unfortunate, very, very, very regrettable. I feel very sorry about it, but then it will get exposed. In other words, you should not get your degree till your project is on the website. Very simple. Your degree should be given to you only when you have uploaded your project on this national portal. Dr. Pathak, we must make it sure. Second, we must have a ranking system, peer ranking and expert ranking. Let these projects be ranked every year on their social relevance, on their brilliance of idea, on their fundamental questions that they are asking. Whatever criteria we can develop, peer will rank and experts will rank. And as you must have seen in the last 2 days in the Engineer 2007, many teams outside NITK are winning your contest, isn't it? Isn't it true? And Prasanna? It is true, no? That essentially means that there are people in this country, other outside elite institutes, who are very good and whose talent are not recognized by the employers, by the entrepreneurs, by the companies very well. With this, their merit will come into public play. Society will move towards becoming more meritocratic. The labels today matter more. I am a brand. Once it is put a stamp on your career, you made it. 6 years ago, when the Entrepreneurship Club started at IMA, 6 or 7 years, they asked me to write a short article for the inaugural issue. And Dr. Pathak, I know you will like what I'm saying, and Suhas, you will like it. I said, I'm not happy with the way we do our work in IMA. My satisfaction would be when the newspapers will not celebrate how much salary our students got. The newspapers will have the headlines on how many $100 million the business plan of our students attracted as an investment every day of the passing out, I would give this challenge to NITK. Next year, when the batch passes out, that means the third year students, work on some projects that you believe in, no matter which sector, no matter what problem. Suhas will help you preparing business plan. It's an art, please, it's an art. It's not something that anybody can do and everybody can do. It's an art. You must learn from entrepreneurs who have made it. I'm sure Rama would help, other people will help. Dr. Sonde will help. These business plans must be put up to the investors. Both of us can help you bring the investors here. That's not a big job. Who should invest in your business plans And we try to get an answer that, look, we will not produce only